Mark here at WhiskyWhistle. Deanston 18-year-old Batch 3 Highland Single Malt Scotch Whisky. Should this be one you pull your wallet out for, or should you save your money? Stay tuned for the Deanston 18-year-old Batch 3 WhiskyWhistle. Hello folks, Mark here at WhiskyWhistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews. Bringing you whiskey review number 250. 250, right. It's Deanston 18-year-old batch number 3. Again, this is a nice little package, a care package that was sent to me from the UK. Dominic, thanks again for this wonderful, wonderful whiskeys that you've sent me. Really, really appreciate that. So this is batch number 3. Now this is the third Deanston on the channel. I've done the Virgin Oak as well as the 12-year-old. So I am ecstatic to be trying the 18-year-old to see how it is and to let you know whether this is something that you should be looking for or whether or not maybe you should look for something else. Well, let's get it poured, shall we? We'll go in about halfway. I'll save myself a little bit for another night. There we go. It's 46.3% ABV. It's all natural in color. It's unchill filtered. Isn't that amazing? And here's a little bit more about the casking. So we've got hogsheads and also first fill bourbon casks finish. All right, now hogsheads, what are those? Nobody knows exactly what they're composed of other than it's oak, and it's probably very good since it's got a nice color to it, and it must be of a certain size, I believe less than, was it 700 liters? All right, Deanston 18-year-old batch 3, we'll be looking at the color of the whiskey. We'll also check out the legs. Then we'll have a look at the nose, the taste, and the finish, both without water and with a little bit of water added. Finally, at the very end, we'll give it a WhiskyWhistle whiskey score, which you'll want to stay tuned for, okay? So, on to the color. What do you see there for color? Now, to my eyes, again, we've got this just very nice, bright golden hue. Pretty much a 24 karat gold. Beautiful color. And we can really applaud the makers, Burn Stewart and Distill, for making sure that this is all natural in color so that we can really enjoy how it looks. Beautiful. All right, on to the legs. Let me spin that around a little bit. 18 years old, higher strength. I would expect that this will be a little bit on the slow side. Alright, so the first legs sort of dip down fairly quickly, but look how slowly the secondary legs begin. Very, very, very slowly. And it really hangs on the glass quite nicely. Look at that. Can you see that one right there? Alright, well, I'm expecting a very lovely palate, so let's see how that is. Okay, let's get on to the nose for Deanston 18 Batch 3. Cheers again, everyone. Cheers, Dominic. Here we go. Boy, a very, very spicy nose. That finishing in ex-bourbon really did something very interesting here. And these ex-bourbon casks are apparently from Kentucky. Spices. There's really no vanilla to be found here. No honey. Not a whole lot sweet going on. It's a spicy sort of a scent with maybe just a little bit of sugar. This reminds me of the herb and salt and sugar. Herb and sugar. The herb and sugar you get at a lot of Indian restaurants. It's I think it's caraway plus crystallized sugar. Interesting. Yeah, a bit of caraway here. A little bit of mint. a grassy type of a mint. Some nice cinnamon, a bit of ginger, pepper. Oh, very herbal. This is really interesting. Well, let's try the palate, shall we? Cheers again. Now, 46.3%. This tastes like it's 50 to 52% ABV. Hugely potent flavor. That finishing cask, well, I guess the first maturation had a definite impact on the whiskey. Hogsheads, well, they were very active apparently. And then the finishing in first fill bourbon, and the result, oh, it is sweet, big sweetness on the palate. It's kind of like stick candy or hard candy, but the fruitier kinds. Like an apple candy and a mint candy, a peach candy. It's a bit peachy. A little bit of pear also. So a nice orchard fruit type of a flavor mixed in with this very spicy sort of a underlying flavor. Now, I'll say this is 18 years old, going on 15. It tastes a little bit more like a 15-year-old. Again, that could be because of the size of those hogsheads. They could have been very big. So it could have had an effect on the flavor, but not so much an effect on the maturity of the whiskey. And it's bringing to mind Glenmorangie, the Astar 2017. A very similar event here. It is just so rich, so sweet. All of these spices and all of these rich candy sweetness. Well, I'm really enjoying that quite a lot. Let's add some water, shall we? Oh, the finish. Very long finish. Very sweet, very syrupy finish. I can feel that, almost like the feeling you get after you eat candy. You've got that little bit of a sort of a thickness in the back of your throat. All right, add some water. We're going to add in 2. That's about 3 milliliters. This is really surprising. A big departure from the 12-year-old. Very much in line with the Virgin Oak, the NAS Virgin Oak from Deanston. So if you like Virgin Oak and you're looking for something a little bit special, maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's an anniversary, this is definitely one you should try. And I think it's the perfect whiskey for my 250th regular review. So anyway, oh, what a great community we have here. You know, it's just so amazing how awesome everybody is. Join a live feed if you haven't yet. I wouldn't recommend just yet. I'm still learning the ropes with the live feeds, but whether it's Malted in Montreal or Scotch Test Dummies or the Whiskey Dick or Scotch for Dummies or Whiskey in the Six. Who else have I forgotten here? Trenny and C, they're starting to do some live feeds also. It's really fun to get involved and to join the chat rooms, to get involved in the conversation, talk about whatever is being talked about, giving your opinion, find out from people what they're enjoying. It's really enjoyable. Watch for my live feeds. Hopefully I'll have one coming up very, very soon. All right, with water then, the nose. Wow, that's interesting. A little more fruit is peeking through now in the nose. But it's like a lychee, or lychee, depending on where you're from. That little bit of peach. Or maybe like an underripe melon. A honeydew melon. Maybe lychee is best. And yet still spicy and still a little bit of these herbs that are coming through here. Well, I really like the direction it's taken with water added. I think this is definitely a hydrophilic whiskey. All right, onto the palate. Cheers. Now, this is just the ideal juxtaposition of sweetness and savory, of candies and herbs. Maybe a little bit also of east and west. A very nice balance. I talked about that a lot in certain Japanese whiskeys, and you know, that there's a little bit more attention paid to the balance of flavors. The flavors being sweetness, sourness, bitterness, spiciness, and saltiness. And now they're also talking about number 6 being the flavor of savory, or umami. Anyway, very nice balance here. Now, if you are in Japan and you really like your highballs, or as Ralphie told me, mijiwara. If you like your mijiwara or your highballs, Deanston 18 is one that'll get the job done for sure. Wow. Boy, I really like that. The finish with water, a little bit minty, a little bit grassy. Still a little bit of that peachy note coming through. And the candy shop, the stick candy. It's got quite a long finish. And all in all, this is a top drawer, top shelf whiskey. No, don't keep it in a drawer. Put it on a shelf, display that. But hide it when you have your in-laws coming over. Okay, so the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Deanston 18-year-old batch 3, courtesy of Dominic. Again, thanks very much. That's going to be 90 out of 100. Yes, 90 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Deanston 18. Highly recommended. Price-wise also, wow, what was the price? I think it was about £78. 73 pounds 55p. That's on the Whiskey Exchange. Could be a little bit less expensive. Oh wow, and on the Master of Malt, this is 62 pounds. Now that's a deal. I would definitely buy probably more than one bottle, maybe 2 bottles of that at that price, as a hedge, expecting that the prices will eventually go up. Anyway, great price, and pretty high score also on Master of Malt. 90 out of 100 was the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for what's to come. Also, don't forget about the Patreon account, www.patreon.com/whiskywhistle. There will be a monthly newsletter. I've already put out the first one for all subscribers, all of the Team WhiskyWhistle supporters on Patreon. And there will be other things to come there on the Patreon account. Okay, so stay tuned. Check that out, and we'll see you for whiskey review number 251. What will that be? I don't even know. Let's wait and find out. Thanks for watching WhiskyWhistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.